Test, test. What's up, VJs? Ryan Dieger here from ZeroToVJ.com, and this is day 4 of Zero to VJ Live, where I show you how to make generative VJ loops using Resolume. If you haven't seen these before, I've been posting them on the Resolume group on Facebook, and basically the point of this series is to show you how I go about making VJ loops using just Resolume, using no plugins, no effects, no I use effects, but no extra plugins, no no After Effects, no Cinema 4D. Everything that you're seeing being made is made right inside of Resolume. And as always, I just start these from scratch. Nothing's kind of pre-planned. You're seeing me make it, as I'm kind of coming up with ideas. I'm not an expert at this, but my hope is that by watching this, again, you get inspired to start making something, even if you feel like you're not an expert in design or in VJing. So I'm going to change my screen here, and we'll get started. Just got to shuffle a window over here. And just make sure that the screen is visible. All right, cool. So I've got my my Resolume set open, and gonna see what we can come up with here. So the best thing to do in this case is I'm just using the same composition I've been using to make these clips already. I just kind of keep working from left to right when I'm making these. So I'm gonna go to my source here, and I'm gonna start with the lines. As you can see, that's a good starting point for any of these. And I'm gonna take the fuzziness down. Again, I like the lines to look sharp. And for this, again, the process is really just going to the effects and kind of finding something, just playing around until I find something that kind of looks cool. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna try out polka dot real quick. Okay. So kind of get some kind of a cool, yeah, polka dot look here. Even though I had 5 lines, I'm only left with 2. And that looks kind of interesting. If I dial up the threshold and nothing is quite happening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take down this dot size a little bit. And yeah, nothing on the threshold. I'll try playing with the... Okay, so if I play with the rotation, I'm getting some kind of weird... it's just kind of scattered. That looks kind of cool. So you get this, like, in this limited range here, if I change the rotation under the line parameter here, I get, yeah, kind of this cool, now the polka dots are in like a straight line here, as opposed to being wavy. So I'm actually I kind of like that. For now, I'm gonna use this as a starting point. One of the best things I can kind of suggest, one of the simplest things to animate is the line position. This is a fairly reliable way to get, some simple movement of your effect here. So as always, if you're not entirely familiar with Resolume, or if you're kind of new to this, click the animation. If you click this little drop down arrow to the left of the line position, you'll see the animation properties. And you can see there's a few options here. I'm going to go with timeline, and this again just starts animating from start to finish. And then based on what these settings are here, it'll either loop, or you can set it to ping pong back and from start to back. As you can see, it did there. We're going to go with loop, and right now this is definitely a little fast. So I'm just going to slow this down a little bit. I kind of like the way that looks. And as you can see, just changing what I'm changing here is the number of lines property, and even with that, you get some kind of cool variation here. That gets a little crazy if I go too high, but as I'm slowly adjusting this, you're getting kind of some nice variation here. And the other thing I'm going to try adjusting is the line width, which I'm going to take that down a bit, because as I get too big, then it's kind of filling it up too much, which I don't necessarily want. So that's kind of cool. If I take down the dot size, yeah, not bad. Gonna try going to the mirror effect here. This is always a really kind of good go-to effect. Again, if you're just starting out, this is a great effect because it kind of gives you some like symmetry, and can help kind of drive things towards the kind of the center here. So it helps. Not sure if I'm explaining this necessarily right. It just kind of helps, like, as you can see, it's kind of duplicated on either side here. It's mirroring. Don't know if that's a good explanation. But yeah, as you can kind of see now, you get, using the mirror, I've turned up the Y value here to 0.5 and the X value to 0.5, and that's a really quick way to kind of make things either sort of travel inwards, kind of towards the center here, or if you play around with it a bit more too, you can also get things to go the opposite way, again, kind of based on the rotation of your of the line here. That's what I'm adjusting. So I'm actually going to keep that at and I'm getting this kind of interesting line in the middle here where it's not staying like a full circle. I'm getting like a tiny, it's kind of hard to see, but in the middle there I'm getting a interesting line. And gonna try playing with the dot size. Again, that looks kind of cool. So yeah, with that, like I'm already kind of happy with the way that this has turned out. Just adjusting this a little bit kind of gives you some cool effects. And what we can do here, again, just to add some variation so that this doesn't get super repetitive, is we're going to animate the dot size here just a little bit. So that looks kind of crazy. But what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the amount that this can animate just a little bit here. So it's getting kind of crazy because it's animating so quickly here, but I'm going to take the speed down just a little bit. Yeah, so that looks kind of cool. The other thing that we can do, let's see if there's anything that we can do to kind of give some character to this, based on the, because just white, I mean, white's like a good starting point. Something that we can maybe do is let's try edge detection. Looks kind of cool. And maybe if we take the opacity of it down, but I'm not really liking the colors of that. And I've just made a big mistake. Something to be careful of when you're playing with your effects is to be careful of not clicking the X button, because if you do that, that will delete the effect. And unfortunately, Resolume does not have a simple undo button, so I have to go back and add the mirror above or on top of the polka dot here. And I gotta set my values again. You can also type that in if you hover above the value. You can double click. You can double click the box here and enter it in if your mouse is kind of giving you some issues getting the exact value you want. All right, so I kind of like this. I don't want to keep this live stream going super long, so I'm gonna actually end it off here. Important, if you're doing something like this, always save. It's you don't want to go through any of this work and forget to save. So yeah, always save. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'm gonna cut back to my screen here real quick. Yeah, as I was saying, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. This is the first time I tried it on YouTube. The previous ones have been on Facebook, using Facebook live streaming. I already saw in a comment that the frame rate wasn't necessarily the best for this one, so apologize for that, and hopefully I can find a way to fix that in the future. But if you have any questions, or yeah, if you liked what you saw, feel free to like or subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to head over to zerotovj.com and hit me up in the contact form, or just ask a question in the comments. So thanks for tuning in. Take care.